Welcome, everyone. This is your girl, Queen Zai, coming at you guys today live to talk about loyalty and how loyalty can be the biggest dream killer ever. All right. The first thing I want to talk about with loyalty is I went on Google and I did some research on the term let me pick my mic up so you guys can hear me. I did some research on the term loyalty. And one of the things that I'm noticing about the term loyalty is the definition is kind of what we see. But some of the synonyms or similar terms for loyalty um, is where our problem comes in. Okay, so loyalty is a noun, and it is the definition is the quality of being loyal. And then they break that down and say a strong sense feeling of support or allegiance. So when you're talking about being loyal to people, you got to understand that you have now taken allegiance to them. And so basically what you're saying is that I vow to honor you in your thoughts and the things that you do above anything else, that's below my loyalty. And so what has taken place is that you in turn take on a lot of the responsibility of that person. And so in this video, I'm going to break down a few things that you need to know, a few tips and tricks, but mainly I'm going to go into depth about why you guys need to start being more loyal to yourselves over people, places, and things. Okay. So without further ado, let's get in. One of the terms that I was concerned about when it came to loyalty was the fact that Google says that allegiance is similar, faithfulness is similar, fidelity. Okay. The next term is obedience. And so when you look at the term obedience, because that's the biggest telltale that you need to stop being loyal to other people. First of all, you need to be obedient to the creator and yourself for your highest greatest good. And so when you have and you take on this obedience and being obedient to people, places, and things, you better know that it will change the trajectory of your path. So I'm trying to encourage you guys to be more loyal to your purpose, your goals, your visions, your divine inspiration, because that is where you will make your dreams come true. When you're loyal to your dreams, and a lot of times we, feel that we must be loyal to people who we outgrow. We feel like we need to be loyal to situations we have outgrown, and these are the things that hold us back. I got a perfect story. It was a group of friends that grew up. They all grew up in, we're not going to say the projects, but in a not so prominent area of town where money was always a problem. A lot of single family homes, a lot of people relying on different systems outside of their homes to sustain their family. And so all of these friends grew up together. And so one friend became more the athlete. So he was able to get him a little scholarship playing ball and got the hell on, right? Another person, was academic. And so they wind up going to college and, doing their own thing. But then the third and the fourth person came and they didn't have talent and they didn't have intelligence. And so the only thing they had was, I guess, a dream. So out of these two dreamers, the other two have gone off. Now you got two dreamers left. They're bouncing around, they're doing things. One dreamer gets caught and caught up on drugs and all of that, and so that's where they are. But the one dreamer that didn't have the education, that didn't have the athletic ability or the physical ability to get this this scholarship. This guy didn't never go to college, but this guy wound up being 10 times more successful than the college athlete and the scholastic student. And the reason is because that person found out that I need to be loyal to my dreams over my friendships. They're off living their lives, accomplishing their goals and dreams. And you're just hanging on to the friendship. Now, not saying that you can't have a friendship, like these people were still friends, but the friend that had nothing as far as any type of support system to fall back on, any backup plan, was more successful than the person that had all of these things in place. And the reason being is because sometimes when we get caught up in what I have and what I don't have, you can't get your way out of the situation. A lot of times when you focus on what your friends have and what they're going, which direction they're going, it will hang you up and cause stagnation in your life. And this guy saw that. So what he decided to do was take, things into his own hand. And so the first thing he did, because he couldn't educate himself, was master his mind. And once you master your mind, your physical body will follow. So once he started to know that, hey, I am the creator of my fate, I am in control of me, he began to start leveling up. And when he started to love and honor and be loyal to himself and his dreams, his leveling up became to a physical level where people around him was like, what? When those naysayers doubted him, he didn't pay them no attention. Not saying that he wasn't human, but he didn't allow what other people said to affect him. He allowed himself to stay loyal to his dream. And even though every day he woke up, he did not see his dream, he kept being loyal and dedicated to that dream, and to that dream manifested and became a reality. So when all the friends got back together, the three of them, because the one that strung out on drugs, now he done lost his life. So now all three of them are at the funeral of the guy that lost his life. And they're all just sitting around, they just reminiscing on good times. And they're like, yeah, buddy, you remember when we was all in high school together and you did this and you did that and you did this? And the guy was like, yeah, that was because I didn't know who I was, but the minute I found out who I was, I became, the most valuable person around. And so the college athlete who didn't go pro, who just got through 4 years of college and got a free ride, he got a basic job, probably making $60,000, $70,000 a year, which is not bad money. The scholastic student, he got a good job. He was an attorney. He was making $200,000-$300,000 a year. But the dreamer that didn't get hooked on drugs, that mastered his mind, he's a multimillionaire. He not only passed them, he exceeded them. But the thing about it was they all got head starts. This one had intelligence. This one had sports. This one over here was a dreamer, but he didn't even actualize. Like, he fizzled out before it even began. So how did he advance past them? Because they begin to start trusting in their systems more than they trusted in themselves, where he trusted in himself over any system that he entangled and got involved in. And that's why he was able to supersede and overcome these things. So when I talk about loyalty to systems and people, places, and things that you outgrow, this could possibly mean your very own parents, your very own relatives, your very own best friends you grew up with. It can be best friends you just met. It could be coworkers. It could be loved ones as far as relationship wise. It could be habits. Because just imagine if that person, the one that had passed away that was hooked on drugs, imagine if he had, got wind of being loyal to himself and his dream. He might have been able to save himself from the death that those drugs had placed upon him, the curses that those drugs had placed upon him. But he had no idea of what his power was. Why? Because he was so focused on everybody else's power. Those friends that's in college doing their thing. When this guy, he worked up, he was working at McDonald's, no education, a high school diploma, no college education. And now this guy's a multi-million, on his millions will take his money from him. So what he chose to do was, I love you, but I got to love you from a distance. Unless you're willing to do what I did and level up your mind to see that you are your biggest enemy and you are your biggest cheerleader. And only you can get you to your goals. The minute that they saw that, or they will see that, he said he has no no problem with being friends with them. But as long as they're sitting there saying how their life is unfair because he's the multimillionaire versus them, why should he want to be friends with somebody who you had the head start? I had to work, toil in the ground for everything that I got. And now that I've gotten here, you don't even have the love that I thought you would have for me. Now you have hate for me because I was able to do something that you weren't able to do. So that's why it's so important that you got to be loyal to your own dreams, because so many times people are looking at you in jealousy. They'll make you make decisions so that you can't have. And if you don't wake up to who you are, you'll never exceed these people. One of the wise sayings is, show me your net worth and I will show you your net worth. Show me your network. Who do you deal with? And I will show you your network. See, once that guy knew that I'm a multimillionaire and my net work is my net worth, he's looking at these people busted and disgusted. And don't get me wrong, $70,000 a year is not busted. It takes an average house of $42,000 a year to be above the poverty level. So these people are not impoverished, but compared to a multimillionaire, they are. And they're still not on the same level, but he loves them and he gave them some keys and some tools. Now, if they didn't use them to elevate themselves from where they are to where he is, I don't blame him for not going back and trying to push those friends. Because where were those friends when he was out there getting it? Because remember, I told you, they left and went off to college. And just like when you left and went off to college or when you moved away, some of the friendships that you have on a daily basis, when you move away, you won't have. So he didn't have these people in his corner every single day. They might have not called him every holiday. They might have not called him once a year. They might have called him every 3 or 4 years. Who knows? But whatever the case was, he wasn't able to level up beyond them, above them, and supersede them to the point that they're now in awe. Like when he was in school, you can't tell me this man didn't have a day where he woke up and was like, shit, that's not fair. How they get this? How he's so talented in whatever sport it is. And me and this dude hang out every single day. Or why this person got so much intelligence and we hang out every day. Or why this person out here strung out on drugs and we hang out every day. You got to know where you're going, because a lot of people that you have around you don't even know where they're going. So they get on your ride and they want to tell you constantly, because again, they want your obedience. The other part of loyalty, they want your obedience. They want you to adhere to the things that they believe. They believe they're not shit. They believe they're worthless. That's why they are worthless. Because if you believe that you're all that and you putting the effort in and you're going and pushing yourself even when nobody else is pushing, you will make it to success. That guy was what they call a high performer. Even though his friends played sports and he got scholarships because he played sports, does not mean that he was good enough to make it into the NFL or the NBA or the MLB or the professional. But he was good enough to get out the situation with it. See, one thing about it, anybody can get hired at a job. But that don't mean because you got hired at a job that you're going to run that company, that you're going to get a promotion at that job. So they hired him, but then they seen he wasn't shit. He wasn't a good worker. He was a liability versus an asset. So they dropped him on his assets. And so he had to figure it out. And so now he's out in the real world living. Now he's making good money. He probably have a house, a car, kids and all that good stuff. But think about when you have multi-millions, or you have the ability to make multi-million, and then you don't, because they drop you off. Like you felt like you was on the road to being like this NFL player, but then because of your ego or laziness or a combination of both, they left you and they continued on. And so you had to pick up the pieces. But when you picked up those pieces, you were bitter because you never learned the lesson. The lesson is not what you go through. The lesson is what you allow yourself to go through, because you know your self-worth. And so when he was going through all of that, really, the sportsman was a puppet. He was advancing in life because he was a puppet. He was performing for people and they were paying him or giving him, what's the word I'm looking for? They were giving him some kind an accolade or acknowledgement because he was a sportsman. Now, not saying he was the best person that played on a team. Maybe he was taller than everybody else on the team. Maybe he was the only person on the team that had the height, the ability to play a little bit, or the ability to be coached, and the desire. Who knows what reasons it was they picked him up. But the fact that he didn't go past them picking him up, he never made it to the pros, let you know it was something inside of him that hindered him, because he was already on the journey. He was already on the journey to being a pro athlete, because usually when you get a scholarship to go to college to play ball, it's because they see so much potential in you that with the right coaching, you should be able to go pro. But in his situation, he finished college, but he wasn't able to go beyond that because of whatever reason. And so when he got back into the real world and he had to come back over here and, pick up his life and figure out what he wanted to do with the rest of his life, because basketball or whatever sport it was didn't pan out for him, he relied back on his backup plan, which was the college education. And he, like most people, I think I'm on the road to being an athlete. I'm not really going to take this college thing seriously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a career that is easy for me to complete school. So let's just say, for an example, I don't know what the hell this guy do, because it wasn't my story that I lived. Okay. This is just a story I heard from one of my millionaire mentors. And so let's just say, for an example, he just decided, I want to be a teacher. Well, think about it. What teacher have you ever seen was going to be a multimillionaire at the end of it, just on the job part? But if he was thinking, he would have went to school for business, and so that he could learn how to make his money multiply without a lot of work. But he chose to educate. So now he's stuck in education. And I know I've been in education. I wouldn't want to teach these children of today because they are very intelligent and very headstrong. I'll say that. I'm not going to say negative words. They're very intelligent because of the internet, and they're very headstrong. That's a bad combination for me because I'm a control freak. So I learned young to get out of it. You know what I mean? But in the story, I guess this guy, he's learning. He's figuring things out. But he hasn't arrived to where he wants to be. And that friendship is still an associate. It's still an association there between the 3 or 4 of those guys. But none of those guys hang out because they're all on different levels. So make sure when you're being loyal to people, make sure your loyalty is to yourself and your dream first. Don't be afraid to cut people out. And the other thing is, don't be so loyal to things that you were taught as a child, because your parents taught you certain things for what their life consisted of at that moment. For an example, don't jump on the couch. Don't jump on the bed. Don't, walk on the white carpet with your shoes on. See, all of that, those things work then. But as an adult, if you, are excited about something, you might jump on your couch. There's, let's just say, God forbid, a rat run through your house across your floor. You're probably going to jump on the couch, so those rules aren't necessarily something that can go on and carry over into today. Or your parents tell you when you was a kid, never smoke. Well, you done already had your first cigarette. What now? What? You know what I'm saying? Or don't do drugs. You already done had your first, high or whatever. So now what? So don't be afraid to change the dogma that you were taught as children if it doesn't apply to you accomplishing your adult dreams and your soul's purpose dreams. Because I was taught things when I was a kid. Let me see something I was taught. I was taught that ghosts don't exist. But unfortunately, as I've gotten older, I see things may be a little different. A lot of times our parents do things what I call, they like to sugarcoat stuff for their kids, protect them, not give you the reality of it, but give you a little taste, but not the whole thing, because they want to protect you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that all parents have a form of protectiveness over their children. I think that parents, due to lack of information, fail at times with this intention. So my mom told me about, Santa Claus. That was a fucking lie. The Tooth Fairy, that was a lie. The Easter Bunny, that was a lie. She said that, Jesus came from, immaculate conception. That was a lie. And I'm not here to debate if Jesus was real or not. I just know that if Jesus came in this world, he came from a man's sperm and a woman's egg, period. Period. It don't matter whatever you look. The one thing I've noticed is that there is nothing new under the sun. So something you want to do, somebody has already done. So if there's nothing new under the sun, how can one person have a baby with no sex as a virgin, but the rest of us can't? It just don't make sense to me. And I don't have the faith for that, because faith over science is two different things. So I don't believe in that, but it's up to you, whatever you believe. I'm not here to try to change your religious beliefs or your spiritual beliefs. I'm trying to get you to change your mind about what you need to do in order to become the person that you need to be. You can do all the spells you want to do. If your loyalty is to things that keep you stagnant, what good is those spells? What good is it to hire someone to do spell work for you if you're not going to commit to changing your mentality and your mind is fucked up in the first place? See, a lot of these spells and stuff that I do for people that people pay me to do, a lot of this stuff is really people not being conscious of, I am in control of everything that happens to me, good or bad. And if I'm not in control, that means it's divinely orchestrated. So I need to learn the lesson and move on. See, a lot of people don't want to take that responsibility. And I'm just one of those people that before I do any work for you, I want to find out all kind of stuff about you. Because if I appease you and do this spell for you today, tomorrow you're going to come with a bigger spell for me to do. And guess what? Even though the money is great, the goal of my business is to teach each one how to be their own spiritual person and head. I may mentor and I may do, but the goal is to wean you from dependency on other people and the codependency upon me. I would love to sit here all goddamn day long and give you guys advice and just do spell work behind spell work behind spell work for you guys. But that's draining. And it's draining because half of you guys that want their spell work, you only want to do the spell work because you refuse to take the actions in real life that will lead you down this path. Ladies want men. I get it, requests all the time. Love. You want a relationship. You want a person to love you, but you're not willing to change for love. Meaning, not when you find that person, that you make it up in your mind before you even start looking for love, that I want to have a successful relationship, but these are the things that I want. This is how I want it to look. Most people just go out there and start looking, or they just stumble across somebody. It's intentional dating. If you see it's not working with somebody, or you see red flags, why go deeper? Why have sex and go deeper? I have a rule. It's not necessarily a 90-day rule, but I don't have sex with somebody that I'm dating until I know enough about them that I am comfortable with. If they was to give me a disease that is incurable, that I could be happy with this person for the rest of my life. If they was to give me a baby, that we could raise this child together for the rest of my life. Because see, those are the downsides of sex. Or if I get a soul tie to this person, is this person worth me being tied to their soul for the rest of my life? See, I'm no longer loyal to other motherfuckers. I'm loyal to me. If you don't fit in my bigger picture, when I got my millions coming, when I'm a billionaire, when I'm a millionaire, if you don't fit into my picture now that I'm not a millionaire, I might be a thousandaire, but I'm not a millionaire. But if you don't fit into that picture now, the fuck I'm gonna let you stay around for till then? Why? So your ass can sell some information, some bogus information to the National Enquirer and come up with a few dollars and try to say you on my level? See, one thing I know about friends is that if you don't have friends that's on your level, that's leveling up at the same capacity, the same rate you are, they are a weight and they will hold your ass down. Ask yourself, when you wake up in the morning, who is the first person you call? Who is the first person you talk to in the morning? What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Are you one of those people that wake up in the morning, just jump out of bed and go on with your day? Are you one of those people that jump up out of bed, first thing you do is check your social media or check your emails? Are you one of those people that get up in the morning and thank the universe, thank your body for waking you up? Are you one of those people that thank and appreciate and show gratitude to all things before you even get out the bed? Because I can guarantee you one thing, the average millionaire and billionaire does not get out of bed checking a phone first. The first thing a millionaire or billionaire do is get out of bed and they thank the creator for giving them life. They thank their eyeballs, they thank their nostrils, they thank their teeth, their tongue, their hearts, their bodies. They just constantly exude an attitude of gratitude, and they're very giving, but they're also very selfish with their time. Millionaires ain't got time for your ass because time is money. And if you ain't putting money in their pocket, a millionaire ain't gonna deal with you. And as a person that's trying to be a millionaire, you have to take on that same thing. And that's a part of the loyalty that you need to have if you want to accomplish your dreams. You got to know what the millionaires are doing. The people that are where you want to be, what are they doing to get there? What does their average day look like? What does their call log look like? What does their email look? What does their friendship list look like? I was watching this guy because I'm always watching motivational stuff because, of course, you can't stay where you are. You got to keep elevating. So the guy was saying that the most successful millionaires, billionaires in the world, and he name dropped, so I'm a name drop. But I don't know this because I don't know these people. I've never met them. But I'm going to take it from a person who said he has met them. He said Steve Jobs had 0 friends. Bill Gates, only friend he has is his wife. I don't know what her name is, but Miss Gates, okay? Warren Buffett, no friends. Elon Musk, no friends. So I want you to see that when you're talking about millionaires and billionaires, these are people who not only were born into families just like you, who had friends just like you, who had problems just like you. Every last one of these millionaires that I'm telling you about wasn't born into money. They may have had some things that worked for their favor, but they weren't born millionaires. Their parents weren't millionaires. I was listening to the guy that helped make Paul Mitchell, because I'm a hairstylist and barber, so that's always a big connection for me. The guy Paul Mitchell said, well, JP, who invented it, the number one thing he said was that he had to let all of those people go. He had to let all of those people go, and he had to know and appreciate life through his eyes as he saw it every single day. And only then was he inspired to do what nobody around him did that led him to those millions. So what he was saying was the average person that was around him, if you told them no, that was it. He took his no's, re-strategized, and came back and targeted people that would say yes. See, the people around you ain't gonna never say yes. This man was talking about how his dad was a lowlife and he wasn't around, and he grew up in a foster home. And even though he was in a foster home, he still got to interact with his mom. which is a beautiful thing. But he was saying that that's how he actually went from being homeless to a millionaire in his 20s, was that when all the people around him said no, he didn't give up. He re-strategized. He found his niche. That's what loyalty to yourself and your dreams do. It pushes you to be a champ, pushes you to be a high performer, pushes you to be one of those people that when you get 1,000 no's or your first no, you know how to re-strategize. You know how to bounce back. You'll never know that trying to be one of the sheep that's in the flock. You have to dare to be different and be comfortable enough within your dream to be different, even when everybody else is saying no. When everybody else is saying you can't. When ain't nobody watching. When nobody really give a damn about you. You know, you got to stay loyal to your dreams. Be obedient to your dreams, not everybody else's. The biggest factor that affects loyalty is your perception and interpretation of that word. And I'm here to help change you guys' mind about being loyal to so many things that don't serve us, don't serve our purpose. And don't get me wrong, it could be better situations that we all could be in. But my question to you is, what are you doing differently to change your circumstances, your situation? You know, when your family, you can't depend on them for shit. What are you doing differently? Like I found out years ago, probably 21 years ago, family ain't my forte. They don't help me. They don't like me. I stay away from them as much as I can. Don't mean I don't love them. But I know where I'm going. To have people like that on that side, the National Enquirer going to be full of gossip about me. Because these people only remember my failures. They only remember my shortcomings. They don't remember all these nights I've been in here working on my plan. They don't know shit about that. They could care less. They don't give a fuck about how many times, how many books I done read, how many times I done watched the same video, motivational video. They have no clue. They do not care. Their goal is to hinder you from your dreams because they ain't found their dreams. How the fuck can you be loyal to somebody that's low-key preventing you from being your best you? I was talking to a chick today on Facebook and she was saying, yeah, I'm going to go. Me and my 3 homegirls, like, I don't even know how many she said. She said she got a few, so I'm just going to say 3. We all going to make it to the top together. And I said, what fucking pyramid you in? They got 3 tops. It don't work that way. If your life is a pyramid, and the pyramid is a historical symbol dating way, way back. But if your life was a pyramid, you really think that there are 3 top tiers on that pyramid? Fuck no. There is not. There's only one cornerstone for the top. One. So when I told this girl, like, you being unrealistic, she's like, oh, da, da, da. And I'm like, you show me a group of friends that are now multimillionaires and billionaires, and they did it from childhood all the way up to the million, and they still going. It has not happened. Now, there are friends that went to school together. They all became doctors together, and they all, because of their jobs, have a certain amount. I'm talking about individual people who own their own business. How many millionaire friends do you have that own their own business? It's only going to be 1 or 2. How many fucking McDonald's is it? It's only one McDonald's that's known worldwide. It ain't what's his name? Ray Kroc McDonald's, and then Susie Sue McDonald's. Is one McDonald's. It's one Walmart. It's one Chick-fil-A. These are these people's brands, but these brands started off as ideas that they stayed loyal to. When they came up with a business concept, they stayed loyal to it. And then when they needed to make adjustments, they re-strategized, readjusted, and came back out and stayed loyal to that shit. I remember when I was a kid, and this is just not even 30 years ago, but when I was a kid, there was one Walmart in my damn town, maybe two, but we only went to one. Now there is a Walmart on every major street in every major city. Every country town has at least one Walmart, one McDonald's, one fucking Chick-fil-A. Let's just be real. You have to be loyal. The only way to the top is to be loyal. Chick-fil-A did not come to be Chick-fil-A by being disloyal, by being inconsistent, by allowing people to tell them how their business should be ran. I know all my life I done put on that damn comment card, open the fuck up on Sundays. Shit's never happened. Yet Chick-fil-A, every time I'll go through the fucking drive-through or the freaking door at Chick-fil-A, it is hundreds of people at one given time, any given time, eating that goddamn food. And I ain't saying their food is good or bad. That is not my argument. My argument is their business strategy. If they was just using Hoodoo, they would literally have to lay tricks for every single customer. It's no way they can do that. It's just no way that is possible. For them to put a spell on the entire world when it's a world of free will, fuck no. And with all the options. So you have to understand what loyalty is, what loyalty works best for you in your business or situation. And if you are not a business, you need to be doing some meditation and getting yourself in line with becoming a business owner, because with the way that things are moving today, you can know that you're not going to get anywhere near your dreams working for your job. People have dream jobs all the time, but a dream job and your job helping you accomplish all of your goals is two fucking different things. Don't let this shit get you fooled. These people will sign your ass up for that dream job and have you working till you fucking dead, and you ain't never been on a vacation, and you ain't never bought that RV that you wanted, and you ain't never left the country. And matter of fact, because you work all the damn time, you probably ain't never even left the fucking state. That's what the dream jobs do for us. So that's why it's important for us to stay loyal to ourselves and our soul purpose, because once we get on the journey of finding our soul purpose, we're going to have to work for ourselves. We're going to have to, because guess what? When you get on your soul journey, nobody else that's around you is on their soul journey. So you're going to lose your damn job. You're going to keep having problems. Everybody going to shit on you. Once you start becoming your best you, the world will notice it. And then it's going to seem like they're starting to target you. But they're not targeting you. They're targeting your determination, your ability, your agility, your knowledge, your wisdom. They're targeting all kind of stuff that ain't got shit to do with you as a person. So don't take it personal. Let that shit go and move on. But be comfortable with leaving people behind that don't serve you. Because if you don't, you're going to be so stagnant, so where you were 10 years later. You know what I'm saying? One thing that a real estate guru had told me, and at first I thought it was dumb as hell, but he said a person in their 20s and 30s should not be buying and investing in no type of real estate. And the reason why he said it is because between your 20s and 30s, so much of you changes, develops, and levels up that you may buy a house and it may be in an area that you like, and that area may not work for you 3 years from now. And you can sell it, but in a lot of the economies that we have, selling quick ain't even an option no more if you want to make all your money. So he was saying that it's good to rent. And when you start renting, now you get to see the area. But the other thing rent does is generate revenue for somebody else's business, and enough revenue that they can sustain themselves. So you want to be in a positive vibration and vortex of constantly, renting until you buy, and start buying and renting out your own real estate, so that when you get ready to start buying and selling your own real estate or renting out your own real estate, that you will already have energy and momentum because you done this. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to make my landlord rich. Why not? Because he took steps that you didn't take? That don't make sense. You don't go in Walmart saying, I don't want to make Walmart rich. What the fuck is people thinking? You don't go in Chick-fil-A and say, I only want a fucking chicken nugget because I don't want to make Chick-fil-A fucking rich. You take what the fuck they sell, you make your order, you eat whatever, and you're satisfied. When you go to Walmart, you buy what you need, what you don't need, you might look at, but whatever the case is, you're not forced. But you don't challenge them. But you challenge your friend who just opened the beauty salon. You'll challenge your friend who just opened a restaurant. I want discount. That's too much. I also have different other businesses, but I create things with my hands. And so I had a friend and I was like, let me ask you something just to see if you're a hater or not. But I didn't tell him just sit there and say, I just want to get a price range. How much would you pay for this? And so the person underbidded me about $20. I'm like, So if the materials costed me $10 and I'm only selling the item for $30, then that means that I'm not going to have enough money, because if you think about it, selling the item for $30, right? It costs you $10 in materials to make. So already you only up $20, right? And if it took you over an hour to make it, if you pay yourself less than $10 an hour, why the fuck are you even working for yourself? Why the fuck are you even doing things? Like, that's the question. Like, at 40 years old, I wouldn't fucking pull up at McDonald's and get a job. They'd be like, yo, we're going to pay you $10 an hour. What the fuck? $10 an hour? Where they do that at? But yet and still now, because you're my friend and I have this thing and I want to sell it to you and you really want it, but you want to value it based on your opinion of me. Because Walmart sell $5 jewelry and you'll go buy $200 worth of that cheap shit and it break the same day. Now, I'm not talking about Walmart jewelry, but I'm just saying the stuff that they sell for $388, $288, $488. We're not talking about their real jewelry in the cases. You'll go buy that cheap costume jewelry, but then you won't buy some some handmade costume jewelry from allegedly a friend for full price. That's bullshit. It's just bullshit. People, like I said, it's better that you don't talk and deal with business with anybody you know. Anybody you know and know the people you know. Just go to complete strangers until you have enough of a clientele and you're in demand enough for those people to say, let me buy from you. Sometimes it may take them 5 years. I know when I first got into doing hair, I was asking everybody, let me do your hair, let me do your hair, let me cut your hair, let me do this, let me do this, let me do. Everybody's like, nah. I got somebody, I got my girl, I go to my girl, I do this, I do that. So I was like, cool. I didn't get mad. Yeah, I did. I ain't gonna lie. I got fucking mad about it. I was a little bitter because I'm human. I was bitter. But I decided that I was going to use that as motivation. And so what I did was I got better at my skill. Like, shit, you don't want to get in my chair. That's cool. Because the best way for me to do is get better at my skill and create a buzz. So now I got the buzz going on. It didn't happen overnight. It took some years. You know what I'm saying? But now I got better. And so now I'm posting stuff on, Facebook or whatever. And they like, oh, can you do this? Can you cut my hair? When you can do this? Oh, I'm busy. You can book an appointment online. Oh, I can't just, but you my girl. I just got your phone number. Oh, you can book it online. Oh, well, that's so impersonal. because I ain't got time for that. Because now it's a demand. Now everybody want me. So now I got to delegate my time appropriately. You want me to do what you want me to do, but you still, even though I got the hype, you still want a discount because you know me. Fuck all that. Take your ass to Walmart with that. Go in Walmart, and if that shit works at Walmart, Chick-fil-A, eBay, Amazon, Etsy, any of these major corporations right now, if they give you a discount just based on the fact that you want it, if they give you a discount based on the fact that they know you, then come holler at me. And it still won't be the same because these people can afford to write all that stuff off, where I really can't afford to write it off. I mean, I can at the end of the year, but the immediate effects I won't feel. So, of course, they can write stuff off. The immediate effects they won't feel, but on a monthly basis, when they start pulling out those spreadsheets and seeing how that line curve go for revenue, yeah, they'll see it then, but that day, no. But small business me, I feel it that day. And so you need to start being more loyal to the small businesses in the people that's starting at humble beginnings, because if you ever start yours, that's where you're going to start. You're not starting at a Walmart level. Matter of fact, if you could start at a Walmart level, your ass wouldn't have a need for money right now. You feel me? Like Walmart. And don't get me wrong, this is not a story about Walmart. I could care less about Walmart, but it's just going to show you that you have to have a loyalty to yourself first. This man didn't just start and say, you know what? Well, if my family don't pick up my products, then this actually, Walmart is a genius. Walmart started by this man going door to door selling other people's shit. He never even had no products himself. He went and was selling products other people made. That's why the store is you can go buy other people's stuff. And yes, now Walmart has a store brand, but Walmart hadn't always had a store brand. Matter of fact, if you don't believe that, make a product and try to get it on the shelf at Walmart. You have to have so much money, so much revenue of sales to even get something of yours on the shelf at Walmart. Amazon. You feel what I'm saying? So it all starts from somewhere. And so loyalty is important, but loyalty is also obedience. Loyalty is also adhering. Loyalty is also allegiance. Loyalty is also fidelity. So when you deal, make sure that you are keeping your loyalty to your business. Support those around you that are trying to get to their goals, because like attracts like. So if you're supporting them moving forward, how many more are going to support you when you start to move forward in your business? You feel what I'm saying? Like attracts like. So remember that. Remember to stay loyal to you, to your dreams, to your goals. Everything else will fall into place. You are a chosen one. And when I say you are chosen by the divine creator. For one, look where you're at. You're on my channel. I mean, out of all the channels out there, you're on mine. So, you know, that's one thing to tell you are a chosen one, because I don't know you from Adam, but I'm giving you these keys and these jewels. And I'm giving you these things because I want you to do better. Because when I get to the top, I want to see all of these little fires and all of these other little pyramids that are, you know, around me that created their highness, that they created their glory as well. That's what the pyramids represent. Your status symbol. And if you ain't at the top of your status symbol, then how is it yours? So be loyal to yourself and your dreams. Remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Also, you can check out my my website. It's firelotustarot.com. It's some awesome things there. I do tarot readings. I have products. I do spell work. I do all kind of stuff. I even do some spiritual mentoring. So get in touch with me. You know, share this video. Peace, light, and love, family.